Meet Gandhabharund, a mysterious, two-headed bird of immense power. Gandhabharund finds its origin in a cosmic crisis where it appeared to fight and subdue Sharab, Shiva's mighty lion bird form. Whereas Sharab itself had appeared to calm the raging Narsingh avatar of Vishnu, which was unable to control his rage after killing Hiranyakashipu, and the whole universe was at stake. But did Narsingh Avatar really go out of control? Because, according to the core, ancient and authoritative texts on Narsingha, like Bhagavad, Vayu, Brahman Puran, etc., Narsingh kills Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad prays with devotion. Narsimha calms down. Vishnu returns to his peaceful form. And Prahlad is blessed and made king. There is no battle with Shiva here. There is no Sharab and no Gandhabharund. This matches the consistent Sanatan perspective. Avatars are divine manifestations of the One Supreme. They do not lose control nor battle for supremacy. Nevertheless, since early medieval era, we start to see the carvings of Gandhabharund, particularly in Karnataka of South India. However, they are rare, less intricate, not prominent, and never centrally placed. Like the celebrated depictions of the Narsingh or any other major deity. The mysterious, ultra-powerful bird is not only seen in the carvings of the temples, it serves as the state emblem of Karnataka today. So, if not mentioned in ancient India, where did the Sharab and Gandhabharund come from? And how did it evolve and become part of Indian temples and state emblems? And from where did the dramatic clash narrative come from? For answers, let's travel to early medieval South India. Because early medieval era was the time when Shaivism and Vaishnavism were emerging as powerful devotional, yet sectarian movements. There was intense rivalry between the two sects regarding whose Aradhya god is supreme. Since Narsingh was Vishnu's mighty lion form, Shaivites likely linked Shiva with Sharab, a legendary creature believed to be stronger than lions, to show Shiva's supremacy. The legend of Sharab finds mention in some ancient non-Puranic texts including Mahabharata and the Gandhabharund story. Vishnu's ultimate final form most likely represents the Vaishnavites' response, a symbolic checkmate in stone. But why a two-headed bird as the supreme powerful being? To truly understand why its carvings begin to emerge in Indian temples during the early medieval era, we must cast our gaze far beyond the Indian subcontinent itself, to the ancient symbols of power used by empires and royalty in the West. Meet the quintessential symbol of two-headed eagle, used as the symbol of might, power and balance by various Western empires across time. This remarkable symbol first appears as early as the 3rd millennium BCE in the Near East. in Mesopotamia. From there, the symbol traveled west through the Hittites to the Byzantine Empire, the successor of Rome, which adopted the double-headed eagle to signify its dual dominion over East and West, and the unity of state and church. From Byzantium, it became the emblem of supreme authority. Later used by the Holy Roman Empire, the Russian Tsars, Austria-Hungary and other European powers, symbolizing power and balance across the continent. By the time Gandhabhirund sculptures appeared in India, multiple vectors for this symbol already existed. For example, the Islamic foothold in India, as this symbol had long been used in the Anatolian plateau, interactions with Europeans through trade and wars, royal diplomacies and cultural exchanges. Through all these channels, India would have encountered this powerful symbol from the West. Besides, there is mention of a Bharand or Bhirund Pakshi in the famous tales of the Panchtantra and in certain traditions of the Panchratra, which are a set of Vaishnav agams. And in this context, we cannot forget to talk about the mighty Sim Pakshi in Valmiki Ramayana. Sugriv mentions them while sending the Vanars in search of Sita, describing them as enormous birds capable of lifting elephants and bringing them to their nests. Also, similar legendary birds called Roc, which is of immense size and can carry elephants, are widely featured in the mythology and tales of Middle East, including the travel accounts of legendary explorers Ibn Battuta and Marco Polo. All of these influences likely blended together, giving rise to the mighty Gandhabhirund, possibly as a symbolic counter to Sharab, as we discussed earlier. What better way to legitimize a new power symbol than to integrate it into the supreme deity's lore? So, was Gandhabhirund a transformation of Narsingh avatar of Vishnu, or a brilliant example of a cultural exchange that spans the known world? What are your thoughts on this? Share your opinion and perspective with us. Also, tell us if you know anything else about Narsingh, Sharab, Gandhabhirund or the mighty double-headed bird symbol. Or, what other symbols do you think share untold global past? Let us know in the comments below. If you like the content of this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And it would be wonderful if you subscribe and join us on this journey as we explore more fascinating stories together. Humble thanks for watching.